Some stuff up here. How are all of you tonight? I saw Francie and Cherie. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. I changed my mind about what we were going to play with at the last minute, so I was grabbing some paint or some water. All right, just waiting for the live to catch up with me a little bit. And then we'll get started. All right, there we go. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm going to switch my camera over. Hi, Luann. Got a few things already kind of stamped out tonight. Hello, hello, hello. While we're waiting for people to come on, I thought I'd show you a couple things. I don't have anything finished per se, but I thought I'd show you a couple of the backgrounds I made this week. So I have made, this is Chroma Glaze. This is the yellow or the banana split Chroma Glaze and the Posh stencil. Hello, Ellen. And I thought I'd show you one of the reasons I really like Pixie Spray. And this is a good reason why I like Pixie Spray. I did not use enough of it on my stencil, and this is the copper. And if you can see, I didn't use Pixie Spray, and so it kind of leaked out a little bit under the stars up in here. And then on this one, I used Pixie Spray, and then I used my stick and stamp mat to hold this down. And so there's the difference. You can kind of see. So I do like to use Pixie Spray, especially when I'm using glazes and spreadable mediums like the Chroma Glaze, the Glitter Glaze, the Velveteen Glaze. So I thought I'd show you those. And then I only had a little bit left, and you can see I was the end of my barrel, so I had a little bit of the dry from the edges. I just spread it out, and I'm going to cut that out. Yes, the yellow is wonderful. And then I used the Dazzling Dot stencil two ways. I was going to use it tonight, but I see it's out of stock right now, but I wanted to show you a couple different things. This is the Prom Queen, Simon Hurley Prom Queen and Crown Me. And then I included, hi Jerry, it's got two embossing powders on it. Here in the little dots is the embossing powder of the month, the Blowout. And that's why I chose those two colors to tie them together. And then I actually used fairy dust on the entire thing. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Karen. So I wanted to show you that so you could kind of see in there. Hi, Penny. And then I also used some Velveteen Glaze. And this is Pink Flamingo, Blueberry Bushel, and Happy Heather. And so I thought I'd show you a couple different things like so you could see. I'll create some cards with these and get some pictures taken. And I wanted to see that. I don't know if you can see it too much, but I use the pink very thick, so there's actually a little bit of a ridge because it's very, very, very thick. Where I did thin with the blueberry bushel and the Happy Heather, and I did them in stages. I did one stencil and the other. Hi, Julie. But then again, I used Pixie Spray again for this so that it would make sure, and you can see a little bit here. I probably got a little crazy. But I just wanted to say, Pixie Spray is your friend, and get that. Hi, Melissa. So tonight, I told earlier today, I didn't know what it was. Francie, she saw me. I didn't know what I was going to play with, but we are going to use the Pet Parlor stamp set tonight. And we're going to use a couple of older Christmas card sets. We are going to make a Christmas card, one more Christmas card before Christmas. Yeah, Pixie Spray, don't use stencils without it. It's sometimes you can get away with it, but hi Kelly, how are you? I don't know if we're going to use the cat or the dog. You guys can help me decide on that when you see what we're going to do. But I've got them already stamped out on aqua pigment paper. And then I heat embossed it. I used black and I heat embossed it with the icicle. And then I pulled the Welcome Home stamp set out. This is from last year's December. I did look, it is still available. It has the matching dies. And we're going to use the door, and we're going to make a, like a little, I don't know if we're gonna do Welcome Home or Home is Where the Heart Is type of thing. And then I've got the wreath stamped out. Yep, yeah, and that's what we're gonna do tonight too. And then I also grabbed the Poinsettia Builder, which has a stamp and die set. And I got this little poinsettia here because we're gonna put that in either the cat or the dog's hair. And then we'll go from there. I haven't decided from our what our sentiment's gonna be. We can get through there, but I've got them all stamped out here. And we're gonna do my version of watercoloring. You're a cat person. We'll see. Maybe one will turn out better than the other. You guys can help me decide. We can do either one. But I thought maybe what we would do, let me find my paintbrush here. Doo-doo-doo. It's hiding on me. There it is. Hello, Linda. How are you? I grabbed a bunch of different chroma mists. I have a whole bunch here, and I thought we'd just play with some of them, and I'd show you how we can color with them. I also grabbed the tea stain and the vintage mist. I haven't even opened this one yet. Well, no, I guess I have. It has a thing. This is the vignette. Vignette. I think that's how you say that. Yes. And I thought we'd have that one, and I also have the icy gray. And I thought the door might be fun in icy gray, or maybe the cat or dog. So, um, hi Tia, how are you? All right, so let's get started here. I'm not, I'm not a watercolorist by any means. It's something I'm kind of learning to do. Um, but I thought we would just go ahead and play. I think I'm going to start with this vignette. And some of them have, you can tell if you look on the bottom, some of them have like a mica in them or a pearl type thing in them. Like this is the evergreen. So you want to make sure you get that mixed up before you use it. And I'm just going to spray it here on the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab some water. And I am a very lazy watercolorist. We're just going to wet it down and drop it in, and we're going to let it do its own thing. And I like to do a fast, when I'm kind of a watercolor, it's something I'm learning how to do a little bit and play with. And I figure it's one of those things you got to let control go. Yes, my sister likes to watercolor. So now here's a difference. I'll show you the difference. See the difference between the wet and the front panel, and then this panel was dry. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. If you put it in the wet, it will just bleed itself. And if you do it dry, you have to add some more water. Let me grab a towel here too. And then you have to kind of drag it out. It kind of is a hit or miss with the technique you want to use, or if one feels better. I kind of do both of them. I do like to do the wet technique a little bit more, just because I can kind of give it up. Does that make sense? I can let the watercolor do the work. And then I'm just going to add some clear water to the center and kind of let it go. So, and I really like the aqua pigment paper. Oh, thanks. Oh, Annie, thank you. Um, I like the aqua pigment paper because it holds up really, really well to the a lot of water, but it dries very quickly. So, but I am one of those persons that I tend to use embossing powder to go ahead and hold in trap it and form little wells. That is the more where I am more comfortable. And I will tell you that it's practice, practice. Don't be afraid. I've always been a little afraid of it myself, but I just kind of play and realize I kind of have to let it do its own thing, and then walk away if you need to, and come back to it and see what it looks like. Um, and I think one of the hardest things to learn is how to deepen the colors without just keep doing it. I'm still not, like I said, I just kind of put it on there and let it sit. Do I know how thick it is? I really don't. I can find out. I'm not 1,000% sure. It's not very thick. I mean, it's This is 80. This is thinner yet. I can tell, but I don't know, but I will find out for sure. It's not a question I've ever asked because, I'm not a big watercolor person, but this is a good way to use your chroma mists because you can spray out just a little bit. Sometimes I think when we use watercolors or even our aqua pigments, we put out too much and then we feel about waste, which you can't really waste it. You just need to ink smush it some and use it up. And that's kind of what I do with my extras. So we're just going to kind of add that. And then I've got my water here. I'm sorry. I'm not, I'm just kind of adding it and I'm just kind of wiping it off here. If you have an opportunity to take any kind of watercolor class, I would definitely recommend it, even if you don't get anything done. I've taken a couple with a couple of different virtual events. I've taken a couple with Christopher, virtual events, and just sometimes it's nice to just kind of play along and try it out and see. And then one of my favorite things I ever watercolored was in a Create Your Own Ending event a couple of years ago. I did it virtually, and Christopher did. It was a vegetable box. And I just followed along with him the whole time and added the colors that he recommended to change the colors. And I really liked how it turned out. I don't know if it's 100% done. I don't remember. I have it stashed in my little memory box book, but it is definitely something that, as you play, you learn each time you try something. And now this I might try to make, I'm going to move my water off to the side again, you guys. I am going to make this a little bit darker, not worry about it washing out too much because that's the interior part of the door. I'm not really, really big on worrying about where my shadows and lights come from all the time. I just do what I like. It's art. Um, and I find as you just kind of drop it in, see now there, I dropped some in and I didn't let there's no water here. So I'm just going to add some water. My brush is dirty, but that's because I'm using the same color. So I'm not worried about that too much. And I have a little towel here that I can just wipe it off on. But we're just going to do some quick, fast watercoloring tonight. This is going to be more of a backdrop anyway to our little pets here. All right. So I'm going to let this kind of sit to the side and dry. And then we're going to move on to these other little animals. I'm just going to set this way over here. Thank you, Penny, for the links. So I think I'm going to do let's do the cat. We're going to use the icy gray. Might throw some color in it. It's kind of a bluer gray, I guess. I don't know if that's the right exact color thing to say, but I'm just going to paint it in. Like I said, I wanted to do some of it I wanted to do it on screen because I know a lot of people, there's lots of videos out there, but sometimes, the die cutting part, or some of the prepping, the stamping part, we kind of know. So I'm just adding a bunch of water to the cat, and then I'm going to grab some of this icy blue gray in, and we're just going to touch it in and let it do its thing. We're not probably going to add a lot of color to this cat. We're just going to kind of let him now I know he would have a little darker spot right here because of his leg. So I do want that to be a little bit darker. But we're just gonna kind of, as it dries, it'll dry back and we'll just get a little bit of a hint of the color. So I hope everyone's having a good week and is getting ready. I know Christmas is almost here. We've only got a couple of days left and all that fun stuff. Now this is just a wet brush. I'm just kind of moving some water around. There's no water on that. We're just going to let that kind of sit. And then I'm going to use the leaf green for his eyes. Melissa, I literally don't do a ton of watercoloring. It's like I said, it's something I've been practicing more on. And I was trying to think tonight, what should I do? And I realized I haven't done a lot. I do a lot of glazes and I do a lot of ink blending and stamping and coloring with markers, but I don't do a lot with the aqua pigments and the chroma mist so much. So I thought, well, this would be a good time to do that. Well, I've got the green out here. I think I'm just going to do a quick wash in here. We're going to mix a couple of the greens together and let the wreath kind of go how it wants. I'm not going to worry about the individual leaves. We're just going to add some color here and there, not worry about the water and how much water we have in here. Hi, Tracy. How are you? You actually got to be alive tonight with us. Did you have a good birthday? So that was the leaf green. I already did that one. I want to use some of the evergreen as well. So the evergreen has the powder, or I don't know if it's the mica or if it's the shimmer. So I'm going to shake that up a little bit. Kind of, you can go back and forth. I'm not going to make it perfect. I should have done a little bit of this before. I apologize, but I kind of remembered at the last second I wanted to do this. You can also kind of tip them upside down a few times. Ooh, I won't tell. Shh. That's my favorite thing. That's one of my favorite things about my job is being able to kind of watch and grow. So this is the evergreen. And like I said, it's got a little bit of the shimmer in it, which is kind of fun. If you don't have any of the shimmer, you can add, no, I have a jar here somewhere. You can add the pearl to any of these colors and it will lighten it up a little bit and add a little, or the pearl aqua pigment, and it will add a little bit of shimmer if you wanted to. So we're just kind of adding some of the colors here and there. These are the two greens I have. So I thought I would use, I think there might be one other green, but this is just the two I have right now. So I was kind of going through my list of everything. I don't know if you know this, but we have on the website under the digital projects, I will show you. There are some swatch pieces or guides available, and I actually got them all printed out. And I swatched everything except all of them. I don't have all my embossing powder swatched yet because I'm out of the swatch dots. But I do have them all swatched, and that tells me which ones I have and which ones I don't. And here I will show you what I'm talking about. So here is what they were. Yeah, the swatch. Thank you very much. So this one is the embossing powder one. It is blank, so you will write it down, and they will have a white and a black. And if you get the swatch dots, they're sticky, and then you can put them on. So I wanted to use the like evergreen. So I've got pearl, Gordon Gourd, and you can see the different ones and what they look like. So you can see some of them, like the rose gold, do not look that much difference whether they're on a black or a darker cardstock and a white. But here you can see what the pearl looks like, or the rainbow sparkle. So I went through and I did all of mine. Here's the here's fairy dust and icicle. Those are my two favorite. I wanted them next to each other so I could compare them. Here's the gilded versus the gilded sparkle. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure you can they're hard to see on camera. And then, you can see the alabaster is white and the alabaster sparkle has a little bit more, has some glitter in it. So I kind of went through and did all of those. And then here are some these are some that are retired, but so I put them all together, but I still have them. So I did these while I was watching, I don't know, remember Christopher's Live or something the other day, and I even wrote the wrong name. So I went through and did them all here. And then we also have them for so here's the candy coat. And this is just 80 pounds. I think it's accent opal paperwork, but you can see the little different colors and the little plastics in there. And then here are the chroma glazes that I have so far. The swatch dots are clear and they're sticky. So they come with they got brown, they have a brown, they come on a sheet like this. And then and they're sticky on both sides, but there's a brown sticky on the top. So you'll stick it down on on the thing and you peel it off, and then you do your embossing powder. Now, I will order some high amory in the next with my next order so I can keep doing them. And I will show you how I do them if you want. I know Christopher's used them. I will tell you that if you do a light one and then a dark one, you can accidentally, so I have a little bit of the autumn sparkle on here, so kind of that's something to think about. So like I did the moss before I did the shimmering snowflake. Same thing with this. I did the ravens before I did these because before I did any of these because I didn't want the raven to accidentally land on top. And I do them one at a time. I mean, I do both colors, but I do one color at a time. So I put both of the swatch dots down here, peel off and then pour it on and heat set them. And then, so here's the chroma glazes. So this kind of gives you an idea. And so this tells me what colors I need to find. I need a green, a purple, red. There's a couple blank ones that you can add in. Here are the glitter glazes. I didn't realize, look at, I need to order some pinks for Valentine's Day. So the different glitter glazes. These are the chunky glitter glazes. And then you've got your velveteen glaze, which is a matte finish type. And then here's the chroma mists. Now the chroma mists, I just kind of quickly sprayed on each one. I didn't worry about putting drops because that's how I normally spray it, but I thought that gives you kind of an idea of the difference. Like here's candy apple red versus holly berry. Holly berry's a lighter color and it has a little sparkle in it. Ellen, I think I got some as a gift, like a freebie once, and I was like, perfect. Um, and I originally had attached them all to like the bottom of my jars. And I didn't necessarily so that I could see them in the jars, but a lot of my jars, I don't have them all in. So I like to have them on those swatch things. And those are under the downloads. And I believe they are free to download. So that's kind of a handy thing to be able to have. And I think there's one also for the Decofoil foils so you can use the swatch dot for them too. So, ooh, I hit my little thing. So anyway, that kind of helped me figure out, it also helps me figure out what colors do I not have. So I am going to add just a little bit of the green to these petals here. So this is something I kind of just recently learned. I didn't do any research now, so I'm not sure, I saw it on the internet. So, of course, what I always say is you see it on the internet, it's true. That all of a poinsettia is a leaf. And then they turn the colored parts turn. But they all start as leaves. I heard that in a crafty video the other day, and I don't know if it's true, but so I'm going to grab a little bit of the shimmer mist here, the shimmer mist pearl, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of that ice gray to it, just to kind of make it not so white. I want it just a little darker. I've never put them in a dark because I've always gotten them when they've been flowered, but I have had them grow for me longer, like for over a year. I'm just adding a little of the shimmer with a little bit of that ice gray in for his eyes so they're not so paper white. And then I think I'm just going to make his nose. I'm going to add a little brown and a little green together. See if we can get kind of a muddy color here for his nose, since we kind of did a brown. There we go. That's Ellen, and that's the same thing for me too. I have a little 12 by 12 in my dream box, I have like a dream box type thing, and they're all over there, and except my favorites. My favorites are sitting off to the left that I use all the time, and I thought I never remember what I have, and I want to start using them up. So that was something I wanted to make sure I did to keep handy so that I could think about when I'm doing something. What color haven't I used lately? Or if I'm doing a project, oh, cool, I have an embossing powder that would make a fun, something, background matte, something like that. So we're going to use a little bit of this holly berry. And this was a good thing. Hi, Stacy. I'm assuming it's you. How are you? I don't have any coral and coral in the embossing or in the chroma glaze, and that would make a perfect little ear. So we're just using a little bit. Oops, and I got it in his hair. He got it in his skin. So we're gonna add just a little extra water, grab a little bit of this Bruce Spruce, and just kind of tap it back over that. There we go. Oh, thanks, Tia. All right, so I do want to still use the, I'm going to use this holly berry again on the poinsettia. I am not wetting this one down. I'm just going to kind of paint it in. And then I'll add a little bit of the holly, the candy apple red on top to the holly berry, just to darken it. And I don't even need, and if you don't want to spray, because you're afraid you'll use too much, you can take the tap out and just tap it just for a tiny bit. So. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that extra red in here. And then we got to kind of let these dry. We got to figure out what else we're going to do here. So, all right, there we go. Oh, you have a Merry Christmas too, Stacy. I hope I get to come down and see you at the beginning of next year sometime. And I hope you have a great Christmas. Did you put all your did you decorate your giant skeletons for Christmas, or did you end up putting them away? This is the sunrise, and it is in the chroma mist. It is also a sparkle, so I'm shaking it up a little bit, trying to get this in. And we're just going to add that, even the it's a fun color, so I'm going to add that to the center of my flowers. There we go. And then I think while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and paint the dog. But I think I kind of want to have fun with the color. I did see that you had a hotel crop for January. I will see. I will see. I saw it briefly before I left work today. That there was something there. So it's exciting. So I will look at my calendar and see what's going on. I think my boss is gone to Arizona by then, so might be able to sneak away. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this dog fun. We're going to use Merlot. So, yeah, I think I saw it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Stacy, for the crop. That'll be fun. I hope to. I really would like to this next year. That is on my list. Come down and spend the day. We're gonna make us. Stacy is my local scrapbook store in Cedar Rapids, and she is having a crop. Scrap Mania is the name of the store. If you can find them on Facebook, and they're a great big store here in Cedar Rapids. And Lisa, who's also on the inspiration team, she's also goes there and helps out with Stacy. So I've known Stacy a long, 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 long time. And they have she had two. Oh, that's right. I knew you were moving. She had a fall crop in September, and it was Alice in Wonderland themed, and then she had one in November that was Mardi Gras themed, and she found a different location. This one isn't going to have the theme, that type of theme like that she had. It's going to be a little smaller. I think you said, was it smaller? I can't remember, Stacy, sat. But if you go to the Scrap Mania Facebook page, you will see the information for her crops that she has, and she's hoping to be able to have a couple more later on this year. Yep, it's at a new venue. I think it's a little closer to the store too, right? So, but the hotel is right there, so you can stay, and the store is not too far away, so you can go and shop and see all the goodies and all that fun stuff. So, and Cedar Rapids is a wonderful little town. I mean, it's a big little town, I guess I should say. I'm from a small town, so it's a big city for me, but it's not a big city compared to like where my sister lives in Minneapolis, or is where the Bruce Monroe store is in Pittsburgh. So go check it out. And Stacy's a big, she carries Brutus Monroe products along with a bunch of other things. And she's posts a lot in Stamp Junkies. So, and she is a really good friend and she ships. So, all over. All right, this is the Merlot. And then you can see kind of the edges. They're not perfect here. I'm not going to worry about it too much because this is a whimsy stamp. Thank you. Yes, there you go. I would follow her. She does have some lives once in a while. They show what they've got, and you know, it's great to support those smaller stores instead of like the big, you know, the big on not the online, you know, like it's like Brutus Monroe and all the other stores, but she carries a bunch of stuff. Um, and she has classes and things like that as well. So I'm going to just add a little extra water because I didn't like how that kind of had a wet spot. It looked kind of like a wet spot on my door and I want it to dry good. So we're just kind of fixing it. I said my version of watercoloring is whimsical. Yes, and the Stacy also has a retreat house in Cedar Rapids that you can come and stay at. So it's about 15 minutes from the store. So you can come and do that. So that information is also on her Facebook page. So there you go. We got the Merlot. I wasn't sure what color. I think we're gonna go a little bit with the holly, and I'm gonna mix in a little of the copper here, and we're just gonna we're gonna make this dog really colorful. I think that's kind of the fun part. I don't know if we're gonna use the cat tonight, but I thought he was here, we'd color him. So I am planning on going live next week before the end of the year. Is there anything you in particular anyone has requests for me? I haven't used the stamp of the month yet. I can do that. Or if there's a specific consumable or something else. Valentine's Day is on its way here. So if you haven't seen, oh, Stacy, it's been too much money in your store and I live far away, but otherwise, yes. If you were up the street, I'm not driving. That's a long commute. If you have anything that, if you saw that the Lots of Love has been back for right now, I know the bundle sold out, but there is the stamp set, and that is a fun stamp set. I do have that, so I can use that next week. No, thank you. All the big box stores are big box and they don't say Anne Marie, and that is why I strongly suggest supporting if you can, and that is like I said, you know, buying from Brutus Monroe and buying because he carries quite a, you know, we carry a lot of different stuff. Stacy carries a lot of different stuff. Those things, especially when they ship, and they ship very inexpensively and fast, that it's good to support them if you can. So I did want to put that resource out there for you. So um, and there we go. Sorry, I'm just adding a little bit more. Sometimes when I start to watercolor, I get a little quiet. We need to color um, this little mat here. And I think we're going to do red because it's the Christmas season. And I'm just going to do the red. This is the candy apple red. And then I'm going to pull it with water just towards the center here a little bit. All right. So now I do want you to know that if you, sometimes it doesn't always work with a colored cloth. Got your plugged in just in time, batteries on its last legs. I worry about that all the time. I have to keep an eye on that too. Sometimes I have my tablet plugged in right now, but I had my phone charged most of the day. If you have something you don't like, if you can dab it and it will pull up some of the color. It works best with like a white paper towel sometimes. I am just going to use this little crafting cloth that I have here, and I'm just kind of going over some of these harsh lines that I got from the drying and kind of just dab them so that I can kind of dab that away. And then I want to add just a little bit darker color into a couple of these corners and let it kind of dry, fade off in. And then we're going to let it just to kind of make it look like it's recessed in a little bit, just because that makes sense to me. Yep, I do too. There are small businesses in there. They're a wonderful companies. They both are. If you haven't seen, Christopher has designed some background stamps that are Rubbermaid that are at Unity. If you can search them in their store, Computers Mode, they're beautiful. They're some of my favorite background stamps. And they are available through Unity. So, and they're a small store in Minnesota. We did a release with them this summer around Mother's and Father's Day, I believe, right? May, maybe, with some new ones. And then there's some other ones. There's some great Christmas background ones that are perfect for your stash. So I'm just kind of adding a little color here and there, and I'm pulling it out just a little bit, just so it's not so, got some white areas here, and kind of fill that in a little bit. And then we're going to let this dry, and we will get them die cut out. Yes, yes. They're great, aren't they, Anne-Marie? I love them. I don't know if I have a favorite. There's a couple that are on my wish list yet. I'm going to leave my paintbrush here to dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a baby wipe to wipe up my chroma mists, because before I make a mess on everything, I'm going to wipe those up. There were too many colors for me to do ink smushing. It would have just created mud, which is what I usually do. And we'll dry that off. I'm going to hit this with a heat tool real quick. Yes, go. Yep. And Anne-Marie, I will tell you that if you call them, she doesn't have an online store, like to order, but you can call them and find out if they have something, or if she's going to be placing an order soon, and all that stuff too. Okay. Thank you. Yes, there's the link to the stamps, the Unity stamps. There's 20. Wow, that's a lot more than I realized. I guess I should look through those again. I think I have 6 or 7. So I'm just kind of hitting this with my heat shield quick. I don't want to. Hello, Lisa. We were just talking about you. Ellen, your shaped cards have been beautiful. I enjoyed that. Santa was so cute. I was thinking that's fun. Yes, small businesses are great to support because they're the ones who support our community and our students and things, and things going on in our community. All right, we're just hitting this a little bit to help us speed the drying process along. Oh, Stacy was here, Lisa, and that's why I mentioned that you were there. Tracy, yeah, they do. They have so much detail, and they're so fun. I can pull a couple of them if you give me just a second. So this was one of the ones that we just recently we did this year. It's called the Tuscan Tile. I mean, look at how that is. Of course, Lisa, it was good. That is one of them. And then this is the other one that I have from that release. It's called Wrinkle, and I love it because it gives your background just a little bit. The wood grain, I don't think I have that one yet. I think I have, oh, that's perfect. We're going to use one tonight. We're going to use the Hit the Brick. I believe this one is still available because we need a brick door. I'm so glad we talked about this tonight. All right. So, but what I think we're going to do is we're going to chroma mist quick. Okay. This will be perfect. So I'm going to grab my little splat box. I think the Santa, yes, it was the Santa was my cute. I love that card. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of water. This is some more aqua pigment paper. I love this one too. I haven't used it in a while. I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of water, and then we're going to use a little bit of the candy apple and a little bit of the holly berry. And we're just going to I know there's a little bit of a shadow. We're just gonna kind of spritz it on. The holly berry's a little bit lighter red. And then I'm gonna grab some of that tea stain in the hibiscus. Just to kind of, so the tea stain doesn't, it sprays out a little bit more than the sometimes the chroma mist you can get like a, if you get too close, you can get like, see that? So I've heard some people say they spray the back of theirs to get a mist, but I just spray it on my thing here. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. And then we will heat set this. All right, we're gonna move this off to, now one thing I wanted to show you is that you can also take your water, spray the back side of your watercolor paper, and it will help it, see how it's starting to lay back down flat? Isn't that cool? I learned that trick from Lydia Felder. I believe I said her last name right, from Understand Blue. And now I'm gonna go ahead and hold this with my pick tool and start drying it. Then we'll stamp it. I'll make sure it's nice and dry for our brick. I'm so glad we mentioned that tonight, because that was I was trying to figure out. It is. I tend to do that when I'm doing backgrounds, and then if I'm going to let them dry overnight, I just let them sit overnight. But I always spray the background a little bit. I don't care if the water runs because this is going to be on brick, and so. Yeah, you aim it at the back of the box too. Yeah, that's I'm still practicing with that. I'm a heavy-handed sprayer, so we do have to dry this so we can stamp on it. Normally, I try to do this ahead of time. For all the noise, but you can see it drying in action. Yeah, so no, try that out. I'm a heavy-handed everything. Heavy-handed glitter, a heavy-handed blender, heavy color. I like to eat, so heavy eater. Just kidding. Just laugh about that because it's that time of year where we get all the sweets, right? All right, it's pretty good and dry enough for what we need it for. I'm gonna wipe my table thing here off. I have found for me, my friend Tracy actually gave this to me. It's just a piece of grid paper that has been laminated, and as you can tell, I'll dry my stuff on it if I'm going to leave it sit overnight. Francie, no, there are a lot of people who don't like glitter. I'm not a big glitter person, but I like it in my glazes and in my like stickles and stuff, but I don't tend to use a lot of glitter because otherwise it's messy. Matter of fact, I had a couple when I was swatching stuff out. I thought I had a bunch of you know what? We're going to use our stick and stamp mat for this. Duh. Because we want the whole background. Pause. Might go over just a teeny bit tonight. It is and I don't think there's a few people who don't do glitter. Tracy, I'm going to call you out here. My friend Tracy doesn't do a lot of embossing. She likes to do hot foiling because of the powder gets on stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love embossing powder. I love to hot foil, but I tend to do more embossing powder because it's faster for me. Yes, I love I don't mind glitter, but I don't use it. I even have one of those little duster glitters. I don't remember. I think they were in the shop. I don't know if they still are. One of these. But I never use it because it gets glitter everywhere. Okay. So we got this on our stick and stamp mat. I'm not going to worry too much about anti-static powder tool or anything because it's brick. And this is great for the stick and stamp mat because this is a full stamp. Like I said, this is called Hit the Brick from Unity and Brutus Monroe. So you'll have the Unity Stamp Company has them. We're going to go ahead and it's going to cover the whole thing. Get our Raven detail. Oh, you need fast advice. What advice do you need, Tina? Glitter in my full size shaker cards that Candi. Oh, that is one of Francie. I put glitter in mine all the time, and then for some reason I don't shut them, and then I have glitter. I must have a space, and then I have glitter everywhere. So I think that's where I started falling out of love with glitter. All right, Tina, she needs advice. What do you need advice for? What do you need? All right, sorry, I'm going to stand up for just a second there, you guys, and shut me off. So you don't have to look at me while I'm standing there. You're very careful. That's the last time I did one. I was really safe. I was really careful too. To add pattern paper to glitter stock, do I need to use wet glue and heat set? When I use pattern paper on glitter stock, Tina, I use both. I use both a tape gun and wet glue because glitter stock, you do not need to set. Or yes, you can use tissue tape and then I add just a little bit of wet glue. I do a little bit of both because I feel like that's extra. And then if you have something like if you have a Misty, put it down under your Misty and that will help hold it while it dries. So if you can put something on it to kind of help it, but I use both whenever I'm using glitter stock. Does that help answer your question? That I use, yeah, like I said, tissue tape. I tend to just use my ATG gun, but you can use tissue tape and then I said like wet glue. Okay. And I think it's because it just has something to do with that. Yep. There you go. Exactly. Good explanation. Thank you. And then, like I said, a lot of times I'll put it under like my Misty or something else to, I don't have my cover for this. I better take that out so I don't have it, to hold it down. Same thing with something like this that's kind of warped. You're welcome, Tina. Oh boy. I didn't have to do that. I helped somebody out this week, but I used my Canva and I typed one up for her. So I didn't have to worry about that. And I just printed it. All right, I'm going to trim this down just a little bit because it's not perfect. To the edges, the stamp and the pattern paper. So we're going to cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. Yeah. So there we go. We got our little door. Those will be so fun, Tina. And now we need to get some die cutting done. So we got our images here. Now we don't have any berries on our wreath, but I think we'll do gems for that. We still have to decide what our sentiment's going to be. And I believe this is the flower. Nope, that is not the flower. It has to be the flower. Yes, this is the flower. I was have to figure out which way it goes on there. So we've got the flower. We need the door. It is gonna. I actually have a superhero, a girl superhero that I have done on it, and it's one of my favorite cards that I have from my past of creating before I when I just did some crazy stuff a couple of years ago, and I tried putting foil on my stamp and it worked really well, and keep it. It's with this background and just, it's great. It's great for a monster to smash through. It's great for superheroes. It's great for this door. So it's great for all sorts of stuff. Bye, Tina. Thank you. Have Merry Christmas. All right. We also need the wreath. I don't usually use so many stamp sets at once. Okay. Like the Kool-Aid man. Exactly. Exactly. Or that big green guy, you know. So good for Halloween cards. All right, we're going to line this up. And I am going to do my die cutting off screen, if that's okay. I'm not going to move my camera or my machine over here. Just because I am going to cut this one out first. Boy, I put stuff all over the place on my floor. I got things everywhere, you guys. I cleaned my room this week. All right. Okay, that big crunch was because this is a straight edge die. So I should have put it kind of at an angle. That helps keep it. That's why this kind of got a little bent, because I went through straight on. But see, we're going to put that on. That's going to be perfect, the perfect background. But I think we're going to put the dark up at the top. All right, let's get these guys cut out. I'm not going to worry about the dog too much tonight. So don't forget that the store is going to be closed after Friday until after the new year. So get your orders in the next day or so. It was a fun game today. Sorry, you guys, I'm just kind of lining this up. I haven't used this one in a while. There we go. I had a fun game today with some mystery boxes and rolled the dice, and you could keep, or kind of a fun twist on the white elephant type of gift. You know what, though? I think we're going to do some glitter tonight, Francie. How does that sound? Because you know what? It's Christmas, and you got to have sparkle. We'll add a little glitter tonight, if I can grab it in time. All right, now, I haven't used a couple of these dies in a while, so they take a minute to line up. So you have to... And there we go. Line that one up here. We're going to put this in our little kitty cat's hair. Then we need some more pixie tape here. Yes, we are, Francie. I promise I won't mail you the glitter card. How does that sound? Or we should just do, we should do a mass mailing to Francie and all of them have glitter. Just kidding, just kidding. Glitter stock and like I said, glitter glaze are my favorite ways to add glitter. All right, I'm going to cut these out real quick and let's get assembling. Oops, I didn't get them on my plate all the way. Okay. We're just going to toss these guys off to the side. Look at how great this cuts out. Isn't that perfect? The dies just cut out perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use some, I'm going to use both a little bit of ATG, glue, and a little bit of liquid glue because they're all a little wet. And that, not wet, but they're a little warped. And in case there's a couple spots that aren't 100% dry. I don't know if I'm ready and done. I'm not done making Christmas. I want to make more Christmas cards, you guys. Christmas cards, Christmas is over on Monday, but I don't think I'm ready to give up using Christmas cards. There's a bunch of stamps I wanted to use that I didn't use this year yet. All right. Now this is where I think we're going to just glue this flat down. And then we're going to pop up our kitty cat. Give us a little dimension. And then we got to get a sentiment going here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I have a stamp block here. Set that on there. And while we're waiting on them, I have some easy tabs here. Prep for next year. You know what? Annie, I didn't even hardly send Annie out. I still want to send some out yet. I just haven't related. I've sent out like 3 and that's horrible. But I love making Christmas cards. I finally watched my favorite Christmas movie last night. Um, so that made it. I mean, and it's weird because I grew up in Minnesota and I live in Iowa now, and there hasn't been any snow. I mean, we had some snow, but it's not Christmas without snow. So it's kind of weird. It's going to be 40 some degrees tomorrow. And I have, I think, the gnome set that I still haven't used yet. The very first gnome set. So we're in good company, Francie. Um, but it's going to rain here in Christmas. And that's weird, but I am excited. Oh, my favorite. I was waiting to see if anyone wanted to guess. I was waiting to see if either of my siblings knew what it is. I think they do. White Christmas is my favorite. It's not Christmas without White Christmas. My second favorite Christmas movie is, oh, there's a lot of them, but it's got to be a kind of a toss between Eloise at Christmas time and Jingle All the Way. Yeah, it is. And what, and you need to watch again, White Christmas. Yeah, I was excited. Watched it last night. I just love it. And the funny thing is I never watched it until about 10, 10 years ago or so. I think, I don't know. I don't know if it was my daughter was in high school still, and it was snowing one day, and I think it was snowing hard around the Christmas season, and I turned it on, and it was just starting. I'm like, I've never watched this before. And we both got sucked in, and now we love it. It's one of our favorites. Wonderful Life is one of mine that I like to watch too. I'm very, very torn because that is on Christmas Eve, right? I am from Minnesota. The Minnesota Vikings are playing the Detroit Lions on Christmas Eve this year. So I'm probably gonna have to watch my Vikings instead of It's a Wonderful Life. So this is gonna kind of cover up a little bit. Maybe I wanted to put it in her hair, but now it's kind of covering up her eyes. Maybe we'll put it on her. What do you think? I wanted to put it in her hair, but it's bigger than I thought it would be. Hmm. Let's see, you guys. What do you think? Sorry, I was just thinking. I think we're just gonna. I'm gonna put it on like it's a little bit of a bulk. There, we're gonna. I did it. Okay. There you go. All right. So we got to add some gems. Let's quick grab a card base to put this on. No, It's a Wonderful Life is a good movie too, but there's just something about um, Sisters is one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene so much. And then I love the White Christmas at the end when they're singing and they open it up and the snow is falling, and and they sing the army song for the general at the end. Okay, got this on our card base. We got to add some gems and a sentiment. And I'm going to quick grab, I want red gems. Let's see what I got here. Oh, we do have some jewels here. And then we're going to add some glitter. We've got, this is the Brights mix. Yes, I did know that that was them goofing around. And they were just goofing around on the set, and then they decided to add it on. Thank you, you guys. I'm having fun. I wanted to combine an old set with the new set, and have you think about it. A lot of people have pets, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Let's see what that looks like first. And we like to incorporate our pets. So I thought this would be a fun way to do that when I was kind of thinking about it this afternoon. So I'm not going to worry about the sizes too much. Just going to use a variety of them. And then we'll see if we need to add some more here. All right. Oh, I want to use, there is a couple little ones I see, so we'll try to add those in if they want to cooperate tonight. All right. There's another one. Oh, I lost it. And a big one there. Want another medium one there. Let's see. I got a medium one right there. And I think maybe, oh, I'll put one here. Thank you. You might need to make a couple of these this week. They didn't take very long, and you wouldn't have to do the watercolor. You could do coloring, or you could stamp the and heat emboss on gray cardstock, on brown cardstock, and things like that. My door's off just a hair. We're a little cockeyed door, but that's okay. It does look like she's kind of holding the poinsettia. Thank you, Francie. All right, so we got that. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need one more. We'll put one more up in this corner here, right here. And then we're going to add a little bit of glitter just for Francie. It's when somebody was talking to me, I don't say it a lot, but that I think the glitter is kind of like the sparkle. That's kind of the sugar on your card. So let's add a little glitter. Then so what I'm going to do is we're just going to add a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of white there and there, and maybe a little at the top of the door, on the top of the. I'm just adding a little white glue, or white here on the top here and there. Maybe we'll put a little bit down here on the corners. And then I'm going to grab some. I'm actually going to grab, let's see, I think I have some. Oh, that's alabaster sparkle. That's not what we want. You could use embossing powder and then kind of heat set it a little bit. I have done that. Okay. Oop. So this, I don't have any clue what glitter this is. I think it might be Lawn Fawn glitter. And this is how much I love it. I don't ever use it, and I have it in this bin. So, Francie, don't look. Here we go. I just need a spoon. Do I have a spoon somewhere? I don't. So we're going to go with my little silicone thing here. And it's going to be everywhere, but that's okay. We're just going to shake it real good. And then we'll grab some up here. And we're just going to put it on. This isn't too bad, Francie, because, you know, we're over a bin. We got just a little bit of glitter. It's, of course, on the top here. I'll just use this brush to brush it off the door frame a little bit where I don't want it. And, oh, we forgot it on the poinsettia, didn't we? That wasn't too painful, was it, Francie? Add a little bit of glitter. Here we go. We just got a little glitter. Not too bad. Shake, shake, shake. Exactly. Okay. So we got that. We just need a quick sentiment. Now, I will say that this is on my silicone brush, so I'm going to have to go wash that in some water to get it to come off, or just wipe it real good. And that's going to be everywhere. I'll probably take it to the sink. Okay. We need a sentiment here. I think I want to use oh, I don't have the stamp. Oh, it's over here. Sorry, I got the wrong one, guys. I want to use the flourishing flowers. Yes, Francie, you'll just have to tomorrow. Okay, she's not traumatized. Phew. Okay, you can uncover your eyes. The glitter is away. I think we're just going to use one of these stamp sets here. We're going to do Deck the Halls. Okay, guys, we're going to stamp that out. And I'm going to stamp it right here on this aqua pigment paper so that it matches. You'll be at the store tomorrow, Francie? Is that true? Woohoo, that'll be fun. Well, you should try to go when they're live packing so you can pop in and say hi to everybody. That would be fun. So, oh, well, you have some fun. It was really fun when I was there. I did actually, when I went for Create Your Own Ending, I did actually help pick some orders, and I actually got to pick an order for a friend of mine from back home, which was really fun. She placed an order. She was gonna have, since I was there, she was gonna have me just bring it home with her, and then she's like, "No, I decided I'm just gonna have it shipped." So I got to pick order, and then Ani showed me how to pack, and then I packed the order and I didn't tell her till I got home. And so then when she got it in the mail, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you packed my order." And I was like, "Yes, I did." So yep, she was there during the live packing. She was. There we go. Deck the halls. You could pack in live. Yeah, that'll be fun. I only got to pop on during the anniversary party for just a couple of minutes because I didn't have the best connection. So I got to see a few faces, which was fun. But I didn't get to see everybody's faces. I missed out on some of the fun part of it. Um, they had Wi-Fi, but they didn't have cell service. So it was really hard to keep connected. All right. So I've got my deck the halls. We're going to glue him down here quick. Song and dance. Exactly. You should wear a dress. Be like, "Hey, wait, Jess, today was dress day." Just kidding. We're going to deck the halls, and we're going to deck the halls right here. Okay. Well, we went over just a little bit tonight, you guys. I hope that's okay. A little extra Christmas present for you guys, but here we go. We used a couple of older stamp set, the Poinsettia Builder and the Welcome Home stamp set with the new Pampered Pet or Pet Parlor to create a fun Christmas card. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Have a very Merry Christmas. I will see you next week. Stay safe. Don't forget to create your own ending and have some fun this weekend, you guys. Okay? Bye.